Hi my dear students, welcome to my biology class. In the previous class, we have learned about two autosomal recessive disorders. Those are sickle cell anemia and thalassemia. Today we are going to learn about another autosomal recessive disorder, that is phenylketonuria. Phenylketonuria is also known as PKU. It is a genetic disorder, it is a Mendelian disorder as it is occurred due to the mutations of genes present in the chromosome. Now let's study the genetic causes and symptoms of the disease phenylketonuria. Phenylketonuria is an inborn metabolic error. That means this disease is occurred due to the absence of a particular enzyme in the body. That is phenylalanine hydroxylase. The first point, it is an inborn metabolic disorder. Inborn metabolic disorder. Second point, it is an autosomal recessive disorder. Autosomal recessive. It occurs due to the presence of two recessive genes in the chromosome number 12 in human beings. Suppose this is our 12th pair of chromosome. I have told you that this disease is caused due to the absence of one particular enzyme, what? Phenylalanine hydroxylase. This enzyme is synthesized in the human body with the help of the gene. The gene controls the production of this particular enzyme. If mutation happens in the gene, then it leads to the abnormal production or the absence or the deficiency of this particular enzyme. So, the genes that is responsible for phenylalanine hydroxylase is located in the 12th chromosome. Suppose this is the chromosome recessive gene. It can be represented like this, homozygous recessive alleles, and these genes are responsible for the production of PAH. PAH means a phenylalanine hydroxylase gene. This is the phenylalanine hydroxylase gene. The mutation of gene, this particular gene, leads to the deficiency of phenylalanine hydroxylase, which is an enzyme responsible for the metabolic conversion of the phenylalanine, the amino acid phenylalanine, to another amino acid, tyrosine. So, with the help of an equation, we can understand what happens during the metabolic pathway. What happens during metabolic conversion or metabolic pathway? One substance converts into another, so that this cycle repeats in the metabolic pathway. So, this is one of the metabolic conversions in the metabolic pathway in the human body. What is it? Phenylalanine convert into another amino acid, tyrosine. This happens only in the presence of which enzyme? PAH, phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme. So, if a person has mutated gene in the particular chromosome, 12th chromosome, what happens? This PAH will not be produced in the person, so that it leads to the accumulation of phenylalanine and its derivatives in the body of the person. What will happen in the body due to the deficiency of phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme or PAH? It leads to the accumulation of phenylalanine and its derivatives like phenylacetate, phenylpyruvate, etc. If these substances accumulate in the brain, in the cerebrospinal fluid of the brain, it leads to mental retardation in the person. It has multiple effects. So, phenylketonuria or PKU is a pleiotropic phenomenon. It's a pleiotropic effect. That means multiple gene effect. A particular gene controls more than one effect. Here, the deficiency of the gene that is responsible for the production of phenylalanine hydroxylase leads to several problems in the body of the person. So, what are the effects of the deficiency of PAH in the body of a person? The first one is mental retardation. The next one is mousy odor in the urine. Mousy odor in the urine and sweat. Urine and sweat. Next effect is hypopigmentation of the hair and skin. Hypopigmentation of hair and skin. Next, eczema. So, these are the effects of the deficiency of phenylalanine hydroxylase. These are the symptoms of this particular disorder. It is a genetic disorder, it's a Mendelian disorder, it's an autosomal recessive disorder. This disease occurs due to the mutation of the genes, that recessive genes that are present in the chromosome 12. Why these symptoms occur in the patient? It is due to the deficiency of phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, because due to the absence of tyrosine here, where the normal conversion is the phenylalanine to tyrosine. Due to the absence of tyrosine, it affects the production of certain hormones, pigments and certain factors that are responsible for various physiological functions in the body. For example, how mental retardation occurs? The accumulation of phenylalanine and its derivatives affects the mental activity, the activity of the brain, because you know that neurotransmitters like dopamine, norepinephrine, all are synthesized with the help of tyrosine. So, deficiency of those neurotransmitters surely affect the functioning of the brain, so that it will lead to mental retardation. The next one, mousy odor in the urine and sweat. How it occurs, how it happens? Because if more substances like a phenyl acetate, phenyl pyruvate, etc. accumulate in the body, it will be eliminated through the urine, so that it creates a mousy odor in the urine or the sweat of the patient. Third one, hypopigmentation of hair and skin. The melanin pigment controls the color of the skin as well as the hair. Tyrosine is required for the production of melanin pigment, so that it leads to hypopigmentation of hair and skin. Then eczema. Then what is eczema? It's a type of allergic reactions. Sometimes small patches or rashes may appear on the skin. Sometimes it may cause blisters on the skin. These are the common symptoms of phenylketonuria. This tyrosine is also required for the production of hormones, especially in the major glands like adrenal gland, thyroid gland and pituitary gland. So, it involves some major physiological functions in the body. So, the lack of tyrosine leads to a lot of problems in the human body. As it is an autosomal recessive disorder, it can be occurred both in males and females. Then I have told you that it is occurred due to the presence of a pair of recessive alleles present in the 12th chromosome. Then let's find out now let's understand how the disease is developed in the young ones from their parents. As it is a genetic disorder, it is passed on from the parents to young ones through the genes. So let's consider a cross. Here the diseased condition is homozygous recessive. This is the diseased condition. The next heterozygous condition, of course, unaffected carrier. Unaffected carrier. Then homozygous dominant condition is unaffected. So let's consider the cross of two carrier parents. Male, female. Carriers can be represented like this, heterozygous A. Here also heterozygous A. So what are the possible genotypes here? Homozygous dominant, heterozygous dominant, heterozygous dominant, and homozygous recessive. Here the first one is homozygous pure, dominant one, it is unaffected. Second one and third one are carriers, unaffected carriers. Homozygous recessive condition is the diseased condition. If a child gets two recessive alleles that are responsible for the production of PAH enzyme, that means a phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, that the diseased condition will occur. That means mutation of this gene occurs. That is why it is known as Mendelian disorder. Mutation of the gene leads to the disorder. Okay, this is one case. Let's consider another cross. A carrier father with a unaffected mother. Father, mother. Carrier father, unaffected mother. Okay, what are the possible genotypes here? Homozygous dominant A. Again homozygous dominant A. Heterozygous dominant A. Heterozygous dominant A. Here 50% that dominant, homozygous dominant, and 50% heterozygous dominant. Here all are unaffected because the carrier condition is an unaffected condition. So all children will be unaffected. So only in this case, all children will be unaffected only in this case. One parent carrier, other parent that pure, that means homozygous dominant. Let's consider another case. Affected one with pure. That means one parent, suppose is father, mother, one parent diseased, another parent unaffected. So what are the possible genotype? All will be heterozygous dominant. So all are safe. All are unaffected. When a deceased parent is crossed with a homozygous dominant parent, all children will be unaffected. Okay, look at these three crosses. When both parents are carriers, there will be all kinds of children. That means unaffected children and affected children. When one of the parent is a carrier, the other parent is a pure, means unaffected one, all children will be unaffected. In the third case, one of the parents is affected, the other parent is pure, that means unaffected. In that condition also, all children will be unaffected. What did you get from this? The carrier parents can easily contribute the recessive gene to their young ones, so that this condition leads to the production of the deceased young ones in the next generation. Did you get it? So this is the way we can make or predict possible genotype of the young ones according to the genotype of the parents. You can also make the pedigree based on this genotype. So how can we make the pedigree of first one? Carriers, carrier male, then carrier female. The children, how many? Suppose 3 children. Here one boy, girl, again one boy. So girl is affected, suppose. So the girl will be homozygous recessive. Others unaffected means either homozygous dominant or heterozygous dominant. In the second case, affected parent. One parent is affected, suppose his father. Affected can be shaded like this. Mother is unaffected. So all children will be unaffected. Suppose if they have 3 children, all will be unaffected. So like this we can show the pedigree of this genotype. In this condition, the father is carrier. Mother is unaffected. All children are unaffected. That means they might have got either heterozygous dominant gene or homozygous dominant gene like this. So this is the way we can draw the pedigree of each cross. As it is a genetic disorder, there is no cure for this disease, there is no particular medicine for this disease. There are certain medicine to reduce the symptom of the disorder. It can be discovered through blood test and urine test. I hope you understood the topic well. What is phenylketonuria? What is the genetic cause of phenylketonuria? What are the symptoms of phenylketonuria? We also learned how to draw or how to make the possible genotype of the young ones when different genotypes of the parents are crossed. Then with this I conclude my session. Then thank you and have nice moments.